What's going on, everybody? Dr. Average Gamer, guys. Jumping into some Destiny 2, and we're finally going to do some coverage on this game. Had a little bit of time, got through the campaign, and as everybody on this channel knows, if you've been following or hanging out with us, know that I am a complete Destiny noob. So we're jumping into this. I wanted to provide today, just talk through Xur, and also talk through some tips. I've been playing with a group of friends that have it, and they've been giving me some great tips for leveling up. And if you're new, I kind of wanted to throw those out to you and let you know what's been working for me as far as power leveling. For me, the first milestone is still trying to get to that 260, 265 soft cap. Get up there, get that done, and then continue from there. So currently, right now, sitting at 231, so not too terrible. But still got a ways to go, obviously. Just finished the campaign. And honestly, don't have too much time in the game, so I'm pretty happy with being 231 right now. But since we're here, let's take a look. We'll go through Xur. Xur, if you don't know, is an exotic merchant that will come in every Friday and Saturday. He brings new gear with him each week. I know in the first Destiny, even though I didn't play it, that he was a lot harder to find than he is now. Now, whenever he pops in, which I believe is 5 a.m. Eastern on Friday and runs to 5 a.m. Eastern on Sunday, so you get 2 full days. So if you're watching this right now, you actually have a little bit of time to go grab him and get some of the items. But for this week, he is on Nessus, and they've given him a nice little location banner, so he's extremely easy to find. So you shouldn't have any problem. Watcher's Grave, there's a quick travel, fast travel here. And he's just standing up in this big old tree right here. So we'll take a look at him. Also, I know in the first game it was a lot different as far as currency. This time currency is legendary shards. So if you are on that power level grind like I am, there's a good chance that you're going to have some of these and have some capability. And his equipment, especially for where I'm at, I mean, it is 16 levels higher than what I've got going on, which is really, really awesome. So I actually did come in and already grab the Doomfang Pauldrons when he first spawned in. I probably should have waited, but that's just what it is. So he brings with him the Merciless Fusion Rifle, pretty cool, with conserved momentum. We get the Radon Flux for the Hunter class, chest armor, which honestly looks really good if you're an Arc Staff user, because successive attacks with it will increase its damage output and duration. So super awesome there. I'm honestly thinking about picking this up and just hanging on to it, and just passing it over when I do have a Hunter class. But I kind of want to try to grind the rest of today and see if I can't pick this up later on during the day and hopefully get it up into the 250s range. Like I said, I already picked up the Doomfang Pauldrons. I'm a fan of these because I am a Titan, and I do like to use the Shield Bash melee. So this recharges my shield throw and also helps to recharge my Sentinel Super Shield. So pretty cool there. And then finally, we have Wings of Sacred Dawn, which is a warrior class chest armor, which makes, when this is equipped, aiming its weapons in midair suspends you for a short time, and precision hit extend this effect's duration. Now, if you're somebody that likes to fly around and move around quite a bit, it's going to be a great piece of armor for you. So honestly, not a bad selection. Not a huge fan of fusion rifles, just personally, but definitely some great exotic gear to pick up. And I'm looking forward to see what he has week over week, so we'll try to make sure we cover that as soon as he pops in to get that for you. Alright, so let's talk power level. Power level, again, this was totally new for me jumping into Destiny 2, never having played the first one. There really is 2 level up systems. First and foremost, there's your level, which you can see me sitting at 20. That level caps at 20. That's a number that you guys are all probably going to get to before you finish the campaign, especially if you do some of the side adventures along with that, or just go out and explore. I honestly, for my first playthrough, I was level 20, with quite a few missions left, because I did a lot of exploring prior to that, which helped me in some regard, but really doesn't matter. The first key is going to be getting to that level 20. The next thing, the power level grind, is kind of what we're talking about today. And as you jump into the game, you'll kind of realize this is essentially takes a look at your offense and your defensive power levels, and you level up accordingly as you get better equipment. So there's quite a few different ways, honestly, to power level. Just what I'm going to share with you right now is just a couple tips that are helping me kind of make my way through this. Again, I don't have a ton of time into this game, Not a ton of grinding that I've been able to do or had to do. Essentially, I'm really just going around and doing a few specific things. First and foremost, the biggest thing is obviously going to be you just want to get equipment. You just want to get different types of equipment. You just want to get out there and get some new stuff. And see, I've even got a few things here. So we're gonna power level myself up at 232, 230. And I'm just kind of rolling through. A lot of it, you'll see I don't have a ton of inventory. I'm essentially just picking up, using what I like to use. I do have the hard light auto rifle. This was the first weapon that I was able to get from turning in one of my wonderful and awesome exotic Ingrams. So I was super happy about this, and I really, really enjoy this weapon. So it's one thing that I'm hanging on to, but the rest of it I'm really just going with the flow. Anything that I get new equipment-wise, because I use pretty specifically just my auto rifle, I just automatically equip just to bring that that light level, that power level up. So the biggest first thing that you're going to have the capability to do really is to work through some challenges. And challenges are nice because they're going to help you get that world's tokens and increase that reputation. And I found increasing that reputation with the local vendor, the drops are always good. They're always going to be powered up above you. And it's a good way to pretty quickly, incrementally increase your power level with just a couple pieces of equipment. So that's kind of my first tip. And really, honestly, up until the soft cap of about 265, I really do feel like you can kind of just move around the maps, explore, do these adventures. Public events are absolutely huge, especially if you know how to trigger the heroic versions, because at level 20, your chance of getting an exotic Ingram drop are a lot higher. Obviously, your legendary Ingrams also drop at a rate that's pretty reasonable for the most part. So getting these public events, just knocking them out, they're usually really short, really quick, only a couple minutes. And honestly, to trigger the heroic versions of a lot of them really are not too difficult, especially if you got yourself a little fire team going. There's always people around doing these because honestly, again, it's a great way to pick up some gear, grind some of that power level, and just kind of continue to increase. So again, as I said, my first big milestone is going to be getting to the soft cap at 265. That's where picking up and really the exotics and the legendaries are going to have to start picking up the steam as far as carrying my power level. Right now, I can still rely on rare gear, which is really nice. And that's why I said it's just beneficial. Just move around the maps, explore, get the tokens for, for instance in this one, just get the tokens, those Nexus tokens, get your reputation up, and just get those. I've also known people that will kind of hang on to those because the Nexus tokens, obviously, and your reputation is always going to drop items of higher value, so you can also hang on to those. I really don't think, for the most part, even just trying to get to 240 to unlock the Nightfall raids and stuff like that, I think you really can just go and explore and like I said, knock out the adventures. As you've seen, I haven't done a whole lot here. I've done a few of the missions just to try to work through towards the Rat King, but most of my time has really just been spent public events and working through the challenges on each world just to try to get some of those tokens. We also obviously have the milestones that you can work through, and again, as you can see, I haven't done a whole lot. Today I did some strikes, finally got those. I got to turn those in for rewards. Strikes are really great if you don't have a fire team because they will just find matchmaking partners for you. Just the basic ones need to be a power level of 140. They're challenging, definitely, but really not so hard that you can't beat them. And especially if you got a small group of friends that you like to play with, this is going to be a great way to get some good gear. Obviously, the Crucible you can jump in as well. I got my feet wet with this morning. Another good place to get some gear, although I do think the time spent in that is probably could be better served, especially if you're really just trying to grind that power level. I think you're probably better served just moving around in the world because your drops for gear are going to be higher. You're just going to have more instances and more chances for that. But again, hitting the milestones obviously gives gear. Plan is another great way to go ahead and pick up, honestly, a bunch of gear that's really going to help you, power level up. And I'm just being shot right here. I need to get out of here. So joining a clan, getting a clan, and doing the clan rewards. Again, I'm in a clan with a few of my friends here, and honestly, it's great. As you can see, they've knocked out a lot of it. You can add and contribute, to the clan XP as well, and that's all just going to provide experience for you, which is really, really good. And then that in turn just gives you better gear. And that's really what all this is about. When you start getting above into the 265s and start trying to work through the soft cap, the 270s and higher than that, that's when you really got to start to focus. But for me, this was big. Just knowing and understanding that I was just on the lookout for better gear, and that just dismantling things, getting legendary shards. And if you have a piece of equipment that you really do enjoy and want to keep, so for instance, say I wanted to keep this, you can go in, you can dismantle a higher piece of equipment, infuse it, and actually make it better. So in this instance, I could do this. I don't know why I would, because this is at 236. So usually, it's higher, but these are all just things. Again, there's a couple pieces of equipment I absolutely do want to keep, and I know that was confusing for me at first playing the game, is because I kept just getting new and better equipment, and the body armors and stuff like that, not so much. But I even still have the first exotic that I got, trying to hope that, in the long run, I'd be able to keep this. Now, obviously, I could power this up to 230, but at this point, I'm just going to wait. I'm going to wait until I get into those higher realms of power. I start getting into the 260 equipment, and then I'll probably infuse it at that point. And that's another good way to just kind of keep the good abilities on your weapons and armor, especially if you've got a weapon that you really, really enjoy. Like I said, I've got the hard light that I'm a huge fan of. Infusing it is another great way to keep the power level up, keep you moving up in the power leveling, but also to keep that piece of equipment that you really enjoy. So just a few basic tips, things to talk about, things that have helped me. And like I said, get out there, explore public events, loot the lost areas and the lost sectors, because they always drop good loot. And obviously strikes, there's just a ton of things you can do. So hopefully you guys enjoyed just a quick video. Wanted to talk through just me working through this. I am going to look forward in the future once I get leveled up a little bit. I'd love to get in some streams with you guys. I'd love to hang out, get some fire teams together. I also do want to try to get in and get that Leviathan raid going. I know there's tons of guides up, but it's always interesting to try to get into it and play through that as well. And hopefully you guys will enjoy my side of the experience. So hopefully you're enjoying Destiny 2. If you are, let me know. And if you've got any other tips for anybody that's like me, that's pretty new, trying to get into it and trying to find the best ways to get that light level up, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. But got a lot more coming. Stay tuned to the channel. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I've been Doc, the Average Gamer, guys. Catch you in the next one.